Alright, so tonight we're going to do some actual testing with the car, because the race that was supposed to happen last weekend got rained out. They pushed it to this weekend, and I put the slicks on the car. Have no idea what it's going to do, and I turned it up a little bit on the launch. Before I was leaving about 3 to 4 pounds. Now I'm going to try to leave around 6 and see what happens. I think it'll take it, especially going from the radial to the slick. I think the car should be pretty quick as long as it leaves. If it leaves and doesn't try to blow the tires off once I shift it, it should be pretty quick. But that's all just bench racing. Still got to take it out and see what it actually does. But I think we're making pretty good stride with the car. We got the Turbotron sticker available on the Teespring store. Go check it out. I'm really anxious to see how the car's gonna do. So real shortly, I'm gonna head out to the spot and make a few hits. But I'm real excited. I'm gonna check the pressure on these shortly. Probably gonna start with it around 12 and drop it 11 or 10, just see what the car wants. So real soon here, we're gonna take the car out and see what it'll do. All right, street car. Pop-ups. Alright, gonna head to the spot real quick. Pick this up when we get there. Alright, made it to our little test spot here. Might move your truck behind the car, because I'm probably going to start a little further back just so I have more room.
Oh, okay.
But the car did pretty good. It's still getting a little warm. I haven't been able to address that yet. There's just been so much going on. But yeah, I'm probably going to start around where these marks are. Sorry it's so dark. Don't have a whole lot of options for lighting. But yeah, I think we'll start back here just so that there's a little bit more room, because towards the end of the road there's like a hill that kind of drops off. Well, I mean, it like goes up a little bit and then drops off. So I just want that little bit more of a runway, you know what I mean? But yeah, got the two-step boost turned up a little bit. Got a little bit more timing in it throughout the run. Just it's still pretty conservative. It's just more a little closer to what I expect it to want, especially an E85 car. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just seeing if I can leave on 6 pounds, because I know on the radials it really wanted to hook up at 4 pounds, like 3.5 to 4 pounds. So we'll see how it does with the 6 pounds. I'm hoping it takes it, because I think if it does take it, the car will make a real fast pass. And I'm still running out of fuel pump. I haven't been able to put a second pump on yet. My parts are en route, but I don't think they'll be here in time for this weekend. I'm gonna see if I can link up with the Draggy now. Sometimes that's a pain.
Watching that Josh Gates special, 3-hour special with all sorts of government people, CIA, NASA, and all them, where the government finally admitted we do have UFOs.
Yeah.
And they're bringing out all the military videos and stuff of them. It's like, no shit. I think we've fucking known that for about 50 years.
Right.
gotta go over another foot. Okay, have him keep coming straight back.
Straight back?
Straight back. All right. Well, he is having a hard time getting it up on boost. Yeah, admit, once it grabbed the fucking front end, lifted up.
In the car, it felt like the axle broke.
Did it?
That's what
Did
it
you
felt
hear
like.
it pop or anything?
I didn't hear anything pop, but just like the cars never went that hard right. And when I was turning around here, I made it like extra tight, and I couldn't hear like any chirping or anything on the tires.
Well, the only way to find out is do another burnout.
Well, you can check your tires. Then you have them.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way back. All right, so that one, they're almost up and down.
Yeah, tilted back.
The sides,
Well,
pretty
about the
close.
same.
Yeah, I can put one of the old tune-ups in it and see if I can get up on the two-step a little more. Try tightening the shocks up a little bit too. 2 clicks on the shocks. Do I want to get real crazy and just go 3 and see what it does? Actually, I'm gonna look at the. Yeah, here you can see. This is when I was testing it in the garage, and on the two-step it was making 5 pounds of boost, but it was really hot out. So I was thinking on a cooler night it'd make closer to 5.5 to 6, but it wouldn't even come up on the two-step really. Yeah, that was about 4 pounds. I think I have it putting too much fuel in there. I'm gonna go back to one of the old tunes and see if it likes it more. I almost want to point the car a little left just in case it does try and go right again.
My neighbor said he had one of those wheel markers that the highway department left in his property. I gotta borrow that thing someday and mark off some of these roads.
Yeah. Thought about going and marking off the one. Mark burnout box, starting line, and a finish.
According to somebody there, if you lined up right at where the front of the car is at the fire hydrant, the first one is an exact 1/8 mile and the second one is an exact 1/4 mile.
Oh.
That's what somebody told me. They marked it all out and fuck, it's right there at those.
Yeah, 'cause the other night we were there, I didn't know when to let out. You know, I didn't know when the race was over.
Yeah, I think that's what Brandon told me. That's where they were. Here, I have no fucking clue. I just go to the end of the tree line. That's probably a 1/4 mile. Well, you hooked that time. Until it fucking shot right again. Maybe it's aiming right a little.
Does that got like a 4-link setup in it?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if bushings are allowing the axle to torque out a little bit.
Fuck, everything's brand new under it.
Is it?
But you look at his mark, it goes straight to the right. It's like he didn't have the car set up straight. No, it started out straight. Bright fucking lights. His tires still have it on.
That'll help drag it down the street.
No shit. That was pretty cool to listen to. Were you lined up straight on the road?
I think so.
Because you were straight from about here to about here, and then the whole all your marks go to the right. But also felt like once it hooked, you fucking lifted the front end a little.
It felt like it transitioned pretty good.
Because right here's your tire mark coming right through here, where you're shooting way off to the right.
Yeah, I need a lot more air pressure, don't I?
I think so. It looks like it's riding the sidewalls.
Yeah. I might want like 14. Because it's at 12 right now. Well, let me check.
Shit, I got mine at 20 and they're still bulged way down.
Yeah, but you got a heavy ass truck.
I got a little air pump thing with me. One that goes in a cigarette lighter.
I might try to see if I can get away with putting the launch RPM 100 up.
Oh, there you are.
I don't know, watching that video, it looked like it just... After I do the burnout, I'm going to have to feel the tire and see how sticky it is.
Yeah, because in Battle Creek, my Mickeys were getting like gooey sticky, you know?
Yeah. And I just felt it right there. I mean, I drove down and back, but it felt kind of powdery.
Yeah.
Do you turn around in somebody's driveway?
I try to stay on the road,
Oh.
like with the back tires.
13?
It's at 13, so it did go up a little bit.
What's this other one at?
They were both right at 12. Like the high side of 12 with this gauge. 12 and a half. Oh, where'd you go? Just green button?
Yep.
Alright, 15. Should we just try 15, you think?
I don't know if it wouldn't hurt, I guess.
Yeah, because I think if it's dead hook in the tire, that might help overcome it a little bit.
give you a clue, you are angled to the right here.
Yeah, straight at it. Look from the other side.
For some strange reason, this side stopped spinning about right here.
This side did too.
Oh, okay, that's probably when he was letting off of it. Over to the right. Okay, now straighten it up. Keep coming. Right there. That was a good fucking hit. That was a damn good hit.
Yep.
And right there's takeoff. Yeah, he was just coming out of it because this tire's right here. Right here's where the chirp was. And he's right back here again.
Spun a little bit, but they recovered.
Oh yeah. But bitch hooked good that time.
That was a lot better.
That was great.
At least it went straight. You got something to work with for this weekend, I let off earlier. That would have been my 6. It was 7.3 at 93 miles an hour. Well, you can look. I let off way early.
Oh yeah, that would have been it for sure.
That would have been like a 690 all day.
Especially already going 97, letting off.
Yeah. It was only a 1.7 60-foot, but leaving on 29 RPM. I don't think that's that bad.
It feels good. It had a little bit of wheel speed, but it recovered.
Yeah, you can see right here's the edge of your tire. Right there. Right here's where it started to squawk.
Yep.
And then you grabbed right into it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started squealing when it got out of the rubber.
Yep.
Yeah. And about, I don't know, 90, 100 feet out, it felt like it was going to get loose, but I just wasn't used to the slicks, so I pedaled it, and I don't think I had to.
Yeah, it might have just been the sway in the tires.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too, but like my first reaction being used to like radials, it felt like it was starting to slide out.
Yep. That's what I was telling you when I first got the slicks. Like I was trying to get used to them still.
Yeah.
I kept doing that, I keep lifting, and then I looked behind me and there's no tire marks. I was like, must just be swaying.
So last night testing, the car did pretty good, all things considered. The first run, it wouldn't get up on the 2-step. I think I was dumping too much fuel into it, and it was kind of like flooding it out, which is weird because that's the exact same tune that I tested here in the garage, and it made about 5 pounds of boost. And then on the last run, the best one where it actually left and went straight, because we started off thinking that the car's so light it'll want less tire pressure. Let me close the door. So we were at about 12 pounds per tire, and it was just wadding the tires up when it would leave because I was leaving at such a low RPM that it would just dead hook and then it would like roll over itself. And it seemed like the inside of the road would stick and the outside where it would get kind of dusty would spin and it would drive it right. That's at least our theory right now. So after the first run, it went right, came back, stiffened up the rear shocks thinking that the extension was needing to be addressed, and it went right again. Tried to kind of drive through it a little bit. It went, I think, a 1.8 60 foot on that second one, which nothing to write home about. I mean, that's as good as the truck ever did at the track, so that's kind of neat. But it was still only making about 3 pounds of boost. I think that issue is just because I was leaving at such a low RPM, just because on a foot brake, this converter feels pretty tight. It's supposed to be a lot looser than it is, but it was built for a big, heavy truck. So I think in this light of a car, it's just having some issues. I don't really want to change it. It's a really nice converter. And I keep having to tell myself this isn't a race car. This is just something I'm having fun with. This is a street car, though. So on the third pass, we inflated the tires to 15 pounds. Luckily, John brought a little like cigarette lighter inflator. Put them at 15 pounds, left the shocks alone, and it went straight, which was real nice. And me just not having hardly any experience on slicks, I'm used to radials for the most part. It felt like the rear end was starting to come out, and you know, self-preservation, I didn't want to put it in the ditch, so I pedaled it a bit, or what I thought was just a bit. I'll get to that in a second. And got back in it, and it went like a 7.3 or something like that, and I was like, man, that really sucks. It did a 1.7 60 foot, went 7.3 at like 90 miles an hour because I let off super early. Like honestly, I probably let off at like 550 feet or so. Not that I'm trying to make excuses for why it was slow, I'm just trying to tell you the facts. And then I come back and I look at the data log last night after I got home, and the TPS, it's up like this for the two-step, and then it's like that. So I peaked boost on that last run at like 7 pounds, but for most of the run it was like 5.5 to 6 pounds of boost. So just that was my fault. I could have stayed in it. I think I just wasn't used to how the slicks felt. The whole back of the car felt like it was doing one of these, and I wasn't used to it, and just not wanting to wad the car up on a test pass. If there was like 15 grand on the line, yeah, I would have stayed in it, but on just a test pass, there's no reason to do any hero shit. But a couple more things I want to test today before we end the video. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I know a lot of people say they like the longer videos, so I'm going to try to see about how much RPM I can get to on the two-step, because I think that's, I just need a lot more wheel speed off the line, because it just dead hooks the tire, and I think if I can leave with some wheel speed, it'll improve things a lot, and I'll be able to leave on a little bit more boost, which will also help. I know the first run for sure. I'm not sure about the second one. I think the first two might have been leaving at the two-step at 27, and the third one was 2,800. So I got it bumped up to 32 right now, and I don't know if it's going to try and push through or not at all. That's the thing that I'm really worried about. Like, it might work fine here in the garage again, and then I go out and actually get lined up and try to get on the two-step, and it just pushes through no matter how hard I push on the brakes. So, and I did redo a little bit of the wastegate plumbing to see if I can trick it into making more boost early. I think if I could get the car to make like 10 pounds through most of the 8th, it would be pretty good, realistically. So, we'll see. If I can get it to leave on more boost, it can ramp in there quicker, so baby steps, you know. it took a lot of braking pressure, but we got it up to 3,200 and it made about 6 pounds of boost. Like really solid 6 pounds of boost. It was like 6 to 6.2. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to grab the SD card so I can look at it, because I wasn't watching the AFR or the timing. I was only looking at the boost and the RPM. So that actually, I'm pretty excited about that. I think if I can just like force the braking pressure to get it to hold 32, I think we'll be able to do pretty good. If we can get this thing to leave on 6 pounds of boost, it should be able to do like a 1.5-ish 60 foot. And if I can just get the balls to stay flat to the floor and we can backdoor the car, I think it'll be, it's not gonna win anything, but I think it can be pretty competitive. But yeah, I might try to take the car out again tonight, or maybe just try and jaunt over there today real quick. We'll see. And test it, see what it'll do. But I think we're starting to get things kind of figured out. I'm pretty happy with the car. I mean, all things considered, it's still a pretty budget build. So that's probably where we're gonna end the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.